So for step 5, this step consists of reconstructing the context. So the context surrounding the rhetorical text, which again is President Bush's address to the nation on September 11th, 2001. So for this one, we really need to think about this moment in time. What was going on in 2001 internationally? We want to consider the year, the current events that were happening. Do we know any history around the topic and why it's significant? And remember, so just giving a basic look at some context here. This speech took place on the evening of September 11th, 2001, after 4 commercial airline planes were hijacked, and 2 of the planes hit the Twin Towers, both the North and South Towers of the World Trade Center, which are located in New York City. Another one of the planes hit the Pentagon, which is located in Washington, D.C., and another plane that was headed for D.C. Was taken over by some passengers and then ended up crashing in a field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. So that's just an outline of those days' events, just the day. But it's really important too to understand prior to that what was going on. And so not every rhetorical text you'll be able to go to Wikipedia, but obviously this was a pretty huge event. So I come over here to Wikipedia, and then there's a wealth of information here. Now, of course, this is you know, I know you have been advised not to use Wikipedia in your academic research and whatnot. This is research about a contemporary event, which has been largely documented. So Wikipedia is a fine source for this type of research. Obviously, in the case of investigating a theory or something else, we want to look to our academic journals. But for this case, looking through and perusing Wikipedia is a fine place to start. And there's actually a lot of information, background information about what was happening before the event took place. And so it's worthwhile to read through this and to note the pieces of information that seem applicable, motives for the attack, who was involved in the attack. There's information here about planning. You know, I'm not going to go through and read all of this to you, but I'm going to tell you that as part of doing a rhetorical analysis, this is what you would do. You would look into this type of information, and you might go on and find other sources of information to see if you are finding similar results in different places. And let me flip back over to here. Also, I noted here that the metropolitan areas across the United States came to a halt. So that was another lead up to the actual giving of this speech. So people across the countries watched the events unfold, and it wasn't just here, it was internationally. People were watching this on television. You know, this was before people were on YouTube as much as they are, or social media. So we watched the television. And so while news reports speculated what had occurred, no one really knew until President Bush defined it for the American people. So I'm going to leave step 5 there, and we're going to continue with step 6 in a moment.